doctors, and nurses. It's a tough new world since the Supreme Court took away our right to choose. Even tougher if John Duarte ever gets to Congress. Because John Duarte supports allowing extremist politicians to ban abortion. No exceptions, not for rape or incest. Can't John Duarte see the harm that does to all of us? We still have the right to choose our congressman, and we can't choose John Duarte. House Majority PAC is responsible for the content of this ad.
This holiday season, you do the shopping, the wrapping, and the celebrating. We'll do the cooking. The Family Feast. 8 pieces of our famous pollo, 2 sides, a salad, and churros, all for just $24. El Pollo Loco. Feed the flame.
Vote November 8th and follow KC24, your local election headquarters. KC24 News begins with your forecast first from your local weather authority.
I'm Ruben Contreras for your forecast. First, we've had some steady rain off and on for a good portion of the morning, and it's still falling in parts of Fresno County and in the city of Fresno this midday, making its way up into the foothills. The green you see is fairly moderate rain, but you start to see some yellow. It becomes a little bit more heavy as it heads up into the foothills. In the Sierra, it transitions to snow about 6,000 feet. Here's what it looks like outside our studios from KC24. A few raindrops on the camera lens. This is not the worst of the storm. This is not the heaviest rain. That's on track for tomorrow, but be prepared for scattered showers today with maybe a few thunderstorms in the afternoon, and our highs only in the 50s, and those snow levels in this year will drop down to 4,000 feet starting tonight. More details as KC Midday starts right now.
Local news that matters. This is KC24 News Midday.
Ahead on KC24 Midday, the man accused of stabbing a person inside of a Fresno car dealership is back in court.
And a possible break in the case of who killed Yanela Solorio Rivera and her 3-week-old daughter. We'll show you new video from police. Hello and welcome to KC24 Midday. I'm Brody Logan.
And I'm Caroline Collins. Thank you for joining us.
The man accused of stabbing another man at a car dealership makes another appearance in court today. 36-year-old Manuel Bracker is in court for his arraignment this morning after it was postponed last week. Police say Bracker went to the Lithia Ford dealership near Bullard and Highway 41 and stabbed a 56-year-old employee. He was arrested a short time later. He was charged with attempted murder and assault with a deadly weapon. The Fresno County District Attorney's Office says Bracker was also on a previous strike conviction for an assault with a deadly weapon from 2020. And Hanford police say they've arrested a man accused of a hit-and-run crash that killed a man in Hanford. Officers say it happened just before 10 p.m. Friday night near Lacey Boulevard and 10th Avenue. That's where they found 21-year-old Joshua Kinzer in the roadway with major injuries. He died at the scene. Investigators think Kinzer was hit by a vehicle as he was walking in the roadway. Police say the suspect, 21-year-old Benjamin Fernandez, turned himself into the Hanford Police Department. Along with the vehicle involved on Saturday morning, Fernandez was booked into Kings County Jail, accused of felony hit and run causing death and involuntary manslaughter. The search for an at-risk Clovis woman is now a silver alert after her vehicle was seen in the Bay Area. Police say they are looking for 77-year-old Lucia Rangel. She was last seen Sunday afternoon driving a gray Nissan Murano near Barstow and Pulaski Avenues. Her vehicle was spotted around 6 last night in the Bay Area. So if you have any information, you are asked to call Clovis Police.
Tulare County Sheriff's deputies are investigating. Deputies were called out around 8 p.m. Sunday night to Avenue 208 and Road 84 for a street racing call. When they arrived, they learned that a fight had broken out and ended with multiple people shot. Deputies say one victim drove themselves to the hospital and the other 5 victims were picked up by ambulance near the Flying J truck stop on East Page Avenue off of Highway 99. The extent of the victims' injuries are unknown at this time, and anyone with any information is asked to call the Tulare County Sheriff's Office.
New leads in the fatal shooting of a young mother and her 3-week-old baby 6 weeks ago. Fresno police have released new footage of who they think is a suspect in the case from a nearby business. Investigators are now looking for this person in connection to the case. This person's wearing dark-colored clothes, carrying what looks like a red backpack. Fresno police, along with several other agencies, combed through a field not far from the home where 18-year-old Yanela Solorio Rivera and her 3-week-old daughter Selene Solorio Rivera were shot and killed. The search comes several days after a reward for information was increased to $25,000.
We believe there's evidence in this field. We have information that the person or persons responsible for this investigation or this homicide fled through this field.
Officials say at least 4 other family members were home when the shooting happened. Officials have not said what physical evidence they have found, but if you recognize this person right here in the video, we're showing it to you again, you're being asked to call police. And the South Valley homicide detectives are now investigating after a man's body was found in an orchard in early March. Tulare County Sheriff's deputies say a bicyclist passing by reported seeing a man's body near the intersection of Road 128 and Avenue 24 Sunday morning. Investigators have not released any other information about the man.
Some sad news we learned about over the weekend. John DeChambeau passed away Saturday morning. DeChambeau is the father of golfer Bryson DeChambeau. He and his wife lived in Clovis. John DeChambeau battled diabetes for years. In 2017, he received a kidney transplant. In a touching post on social media, Bryson DeChambeau wrote that he is happy his father is now at peace. He thanked him for being an amazing dad. John was just 63 years old, such a huge part of the community.
Yeah, very welcoming to anyone that wanted to learn the game of golf or just anyone golfing in this area.
Yeah, he's so fun when I met him at the golf course. Just puts a smile on everyone's face. He'll definitely be missed.
Coming up on Ksee Midday.
A local skydiving group, they're giving us a bird's eye view.
And the biggest storm of the year so far arrives. First, your 40-hour forecast brought to you by Boz Allergy. Elm and Juniper, the top pollens. We are in the low range through Thursday. I'll show you exactly how much rain and snow we could expect as Ksee Midday continues.
This is Ksee 24 News Midday with Brody Logan, Caroline Collins, and the certified most accurate forecast with forecaster Ruben Contreras, your local weather authority. Ksee 24, local news that matters.
What do I see on Ksee? I see stories of everyday people making a big difference. There is such an amazing sense of passion and drive in the people in the Central Valley. Families wanting what's best for their children, children trying to make those families proud. I see this every day in the stories we tell. I see what matters. I see local stories making an impact right here. And I invite you all to see it right here, every day on Ksee 24 News.
With so much at stake in the midterm elections and the balance of power on the line, join Lester Holt, Savannah Guthrie, and the NBC News team for live special coverage and analysis as results come in tomorrow on NBC.
When I was broadsided by that truck, I didn't know where to turn. Thankfully, I found the injury attorneys at BD&J.
The personal injury attorneys at BD&J have recovered over $1 billion for their clients. Make the call to BD&J today.
Real talk, kids are gonna kid. And sometimes that can look messier, ickier, and stickier than we'd like to admit. We can't always protect our kids from chewing on borrowed pencils, sharing lip gloss, or wild sneezes. But there is one thing we can help protect them from, and that's COVID-19. Keep your family safer with vaccines and boosters. Find one near you at myturn.ca.gov.
To protect Valley families, State Senator Melissa Hurtado took on her own party, fighting against the early release of violent criminals. She's working across party lines to increase funding for local law enforcement and crack down on human traffickers. Now, as the Valley faces a fentanyl crisis, Hurtado is working to prevent overdoses and save lives. Endorsed by California's police chiefs and first responders, State Senator Melissa Hurtado. She's all Valley.
United Health Center's newest location in Hanford is now open on Mall Drive. We welcome you to become our new patient. Our Hanford Health Center is ready to provide the quality health care you and your family deserve. Call us at 1-800-492-4227. 1-800-492-4227 to book your medical or dental appointment today. United Health Centers. Wellness for a lifetime.
Get local news that matters at the new YourCentralValley.com and your certified accurate forecasts every day. Ksee 24 News is always available at YourCentralValley.com. Ksee 24 News is brought to you in part by Jackson Jewelers. Now, forecaster Ruben Contreras with your local weather authority forecast.
And the rain is falling this midday, but this is not the worst of the storm. This is not the heavy rain we're expecting. That's still on track for tomorrow. Even the snow will be heavy at times tonight into tomorrow, but still be prepared for rain for a good portion of the day. It's fairly moderate out there, and we might even pick up a few isolated thunderstorms this afternoon. See a lot of green on our radar. That's more moderate rain, and that's been the case for a good portion of the morning, especially over Fresno right now. We're seeing some showers develop right over downtown Fresno, central Fresno, along the 41, 168, the 99. Some of this is approaching the Kings Tulare County line with Fresno County. As you make your way up into the mountains, that transition, it does become a little bit more heavy at time. That's when you start to see the yellow pop up on our radar. So that's the case out towards Bryant, Oakhurst, Yosemite Lakes. And then it transitions to snow about 6,000 feet or so. So right now, Shaver Lake picking up rain rather than snow, but it will transition to snow later on today, tonight, and for tomorrow. And then snow showers in and around Yosemite National Park. Speaking of Yosemite National Park, live picture from Milwaukie Meadow, thanks to Yosemite Conservancy. Back there somewhere is Half Dome, but you see just mainly nothing on the ground because it's mainly just rain right now for Yosemite Valley. But there's a possibility of some snow for Yosemite Valley as early as tomorrow morning. Up about 7,000 feet, this is China Peak, a live picture from the resort's webcam up there in the mountains of Fresno County. This is Chair 1 at the top of the summit right there. You can see a few snow flurries, and most of this is from this morning, but also it's a combination of what they picked up last week. It was only about 4 to 6 inches of snow. Now we're talking about anywhere from about 2 to 6 feet of snow at the Sierra. Obviously, the higher amount will be at the highest elevations. Roads are wet this midday. Here's what it looks like right now. Live picture from our Valley Cam at Herndon and Palm in northwest Fresno. Traffic's moving along, but those roads are slick. There's going to be more issues tonight and tomorrow morning with the morning commute, because tomorrow morning, actually, that's when we're expecting the heaviest rain. Fairly large system moving in. Picked up a little bit of rain yesterday, mainly in the form of sprinkles or a light shower. Now moderate showers, but the core of the storm still up on the coast of the Pacific Northwest and Northern California. And then see how the clouds kind of break up right there. That's colder air on the way. Futurecast shows the rain moving to the south throughout the afternoon into the early evening, and then those snow levels will start to drop off. But you see clearing in the North Valley as early as about 1 o'clock or so this afternoon. But with that cold air coming in and clear skies, the sunshine will heat the lower atmosphere, but that spin in the upper atmosphere with that cold air could trigger a few thunderstorms this afternoon. Same deal for tomorrow, and Futurecast does show that through the early evening when you start to see those yellow and orange popping up right there. Snow levels continue to fall, and then the wave of heavy rain moves in by sunrise tomorrow morning. This is 6 o'clock or so, and this is a more of a higher resolution model, but you see a lot of orange right there. So that's the potential for heavy rain throughout the morning, even past the midday hours. And of course, it really starts to pick up in the Sierra. And of course, but at that point, snow levels could drop down to 4,000 feet or so tomorrow morning, not only for our local mountains, but also for Southern California. So that could be a big issue if you're traveling south tomorrow through the Grapevine or even the Tehachapi route. Rainfall projections from this midday all the way through Wednesday, we're probably around 3/4 inch of rain. Remember on Friday, some communities were throwing out some very high numbers, over 2 inches, but I think 3/4 inch of rain to maybe an inch on the valley floor possible. 2 inches is more likely in the foothills over the next couple of days. And then the snowfall projections, they're still up there, anywhere from about 2 feet to Shaver Lake, maybe even up to 32 inches of snow at Huntington Lake. So it would be great news for China Peak, as the resort would like to open in the next couple of weeks. Our local mountains are under a winter storm warning all the way through Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. This does stretch from Yosemite south to the Kern County mountains and then parts of Southern California. It's a winter weather advisory, and of course that's also the concern for the Grapevine. Temperatures in the 50s this midday, and it is chilly out there. We're pretty much going to stay in the 50s all day, and obviously we are cooler compared to this time yesterday for a good portion of the valley. Those winds right now, they're picking up at the highest trend of this year, up at the northwest winds at 10 miles an hour in Lemoore. Today, temperatures in the 50s. We're below the average of 69, and today's record is 85, set back in 1930. South Valley temperatures today in the 50s and 60s. Up in the Sierra, temperatures in the 30s for China Peak, Sequoia National Park, 50s for Aubrey, and 50 for Oakhurst, and 49 in Mariposa. 70 forecast shows rain will be more heavy tomorrow, and the winds are also going to start to pick up, and we are going to have some gusty winds for a good portion of the valley. A few showers end on Wednesday, and of course after we get a good soaking of rain, we've got to watch out for areas of fog, and then we'll just see some clouds this weekend. Things look to be dry for Veterans Day, so good news for a number of services going on for the holiday. Your regional forecast and the live radar available any time of the day. Just go to yourcentralvalley.com to check it out. For now, we'll send it back to you.
Ruben. A skydiving trio is giving us a bird's eye view of their high flying debut, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Over Valley Children's Stadium. The group Bulldog Blitz, they've been falling with style for around 8 years now. And it'll be a big part of the Bulldog spirit at home games. Luke, the newest member of the Divers, was originally added to the team as a helper on the ground, but now he's the first of the three to jump from the plane.
Once that door comes open, it's like everything's done. It's already, it's time to go. There's no more thinking. There's no more being scared. It's put my head out there, look at the spot, make sure we're over the stadium. Once it's time, I close my helmet and I jump, and it's all full throttle from there.
Oh, wow. That jump just looks crazy from there. You can catch the next Bulldog Blitz at Valley Children's Stadium on November 25th when the Dogs take on Wyoming. Did you go skydiving before?
I have.
Yeah, I knew you were crazy enough to do that.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, that's also the last home game of the season, so definitely turn out for that. The senior Buchanan High School will be graduating this year, leaving behind a pretty incredible fundraising legacy. Anelia Bird raised over $20,000 for the Community Cancer Center. She is now playing for the Dirt Dogs, a traveling baseball team, or softball team, excuse me, that has been hosting fundraisers through their tournament since the age of 11.
Smile. I've seen, my mom worked in healthcare, so I've seen a lot of ups and downs, and then I have family members who have had cancer, and my sister was a NICU baby, so I've seen a lot of hospitals.
Katie Zinovich was able to receive the check on behalf of Community Cancer Institute and says the money will go to people in the Central Valley who are currently fighting cancer. Pretty amazing thing for her to do.
Yeah, that's awesome. Coming up on Ksee 24 Midday.
Daylight saving time can throw off more than just your morning routine.
Tips to actually save money and stretch the dollars that you are spending.
Don't buy a new iPhone, buy Apple stocks.
The #1 secret to making extra money.
New Dr. Phil.
Dr. Phil, today at 4 on Ksee 24.
Game day has arrived. Call the winning team at College Hunks for your next move or junk removal. The MVPs of your next move.
Local patients and hospitals are feeling the effect of a statewide nursing shortage. And due to persistent underfunding by the state of California, Fresno State's acclaimed nursing program turns away top nursing candidates when we've needed them the most. By passing Measure E, we can help Fresno State triple the capacity for their nursing program and graduate more nurses to serve right here in our own community. Please join me in voting yes on Measure E.
We know Rudy Salas. In Sacramento, we paid him over $1 million, and he skipped over 400 votes. When Rudy did show up, he voted for a new tax on prescription drugs that would have drained money from the most vulnerable. Worse, we pay the highest gas prices in the nation, and Rudy voted to stick us with even higher gas prices. Rudy Salas has failed the Central Valley. Rudy Salas is not for us. NRCC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
With violent crime in our communities and the cost of gas, food, and medicine rising, we need a leader in the assembly that we can trust to fight for us, not a quitter like Mark Pazin. While murders in Merced County hit an all-time high, Mark shamefully abandoned his post as sheriff, quitting in the middle of a gang crisis to take a fancy Sacramento political gig. We can't trust a politician like Mark Pazin, who already turned his back on us. The stakes are too high.
He cost local farmers millions. So now he runs for Congress? John Duarte. A judge ruled Duarte knowingly sold defective trees to local farmers. A mutation affected the tree's growth. Duarte knew, but sold them anyway, costing local farmers millions. Then Duarte refused to refund their money, acting like he's above the law. A guy like John Duarte in Congress? It could cost us all. House Majority PAC's responsible for the content of this ad.
Game day has arrived. Call the winning team at College Hunks for your next move or junk removal. The MVPs of your next move.
Medical professionals are looking into how daylight saving change more than just your alarm clock.
With the sudden shift in schedule, your body is forced to adapt, throwing it out of its natural cycle. Research shows the week after the shift is associated with a 20% spike in heart attacks, an 8% increase in strokes. You might also see a slow metabolism and weight gain in what's called a rise in seasonal depression. But I guess, you know, it's not all bad, right? No? We got one extra hour, maybe?
I guess. I don't know. I feel like we're always just on a weird time with the schedule. Well, hospitalization rates for the flu are now at a decade high. That's according to officials with the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The World Health Organization said on Friday that the more severe cases are among people ages 65 and up and young children. The rise comes as other respiratory viruses, including the respiratory virus RSV, are also spreading early and rapidly. The CDC also noted that flu vaccinations are down in both kids and adults compared to before the pandemic, although up in children from last year. Well, parents of a survivor at an Indianapolis, Indiana hospital are giving back in a beautiful way.
Teaming up with the Ronald McDonald House, Sarah Pulley is making a relaxation destination at a place they called home for several months while their daughter was a patient. They vowed to give back in whatever capacity they could. If their daughter survived, she is now happy and healthy as a 4-year-old. Although not a full-service salon, the beauty bar offers pampering for parents so home doesn't feel so far away.
And it's so powerful. It's just been so amazing for me to be able to give that gift and that special touch to other people. But I feel like the moms that have experienced it can also say that it's been a treat. Just to be able to sit and relax for 5 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever it may be, but still be within reach of your child.
The beauty bar is currently open once a month, but they hope to increase the number as they gain more volunteers. Pretty awesome thing.
Yeah.
Coming up on Ksee Midday.
Elon Musk is rolling out the layoffs at Twitter.
Angie's List is now Angie, and it's easier than ever to get your projects done right. With Angie, you can connect with top pros and see ratings and reviews. And when you book and pay through Angie, you're covered by our happiness guarantee. Check out Angie.com today. Angie, and done.
At Innovative Medical Center, a relationship is where it all begins. What we want to do is give back your quality of life.
We don't look to cover up the symptoms with medications. What we want to do is we want to fix function and mobility and therefore have symptoms go away naturally.
I encourage you to come to Innovative Medical Center. We will help you with your pain.
It's the quality of life that makes life worth living, and we're changing people's lives.
Discover the holistic approach to healthcare at Innovative Medical Center.
Moderate to severe eczema still disrupts my skin. Despite treatment, it disrupts my skin with itch. It disrupts my skin with rash. But now, I can disrupt eczema with Rinvoq. Rinvoq is not a steroid, topical, or injection. It's one pill once a day that's effective without topical steroids. Many taking Rinvoq saw clear or almost clear skin, while some saw up to 100% clear skin. Plus, they felt fast itch relief, some as early as 2 days. That's Rinvoq relief.
Rinvoq can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB, serious infections and blood clots, some fatal, cancers, including lymphoma and skin cancer. Death, heart attack, stroke, and tears in the stomach or intestines occurred. People 50 and older with at least one heart disease risk factor have higher risks. Don't take if allergic to Rinvoq, as serious reactions can occur. Tell your doctor if you are or may become pregnant.
Disrupts the itch and rash of eczema. Talk to your doctor about Rinvoq.
Learn how AbbVie can help you save.
I was denied my Social Security disability claim, even though I can't work.
I'm so frustrated dealing with the government, and the last thing I want is some faceless lawyer on the phone.
I want personal attention.
Someone experienced
who knows our local legal system
and will fight for me.
When you can't work, the law offices of Robert Ishikawa will fight to get you Social Security disability benefits. Call 559-432-9600. Social Security disability is all we do.
I'm waking up my day, so let's get it started. Turn it up, turn it on, keep the morning moving right along. Yeah, I'm waking up my day, you make it feel alright. I'm waking up my day, waking up my day. Don't you know I'm ready for whatever comes my way? I'm waking up my
I'm so emotional. It went into freaking superstar land.
Did we have a moment? I was shaking what my mama gave me for you.
It's 1996. You are a 16-year-old student.
This isn't some game. We're lost. We've got no water, no food. We're gonna die.
After record high prices in October, we are starting to see a decline in gas prices.
The national average is currently 93 cents cheaper than a month ago, according to AAA. Even in Los Angeles, which is $2 more than the national average, is seeing a recent decline. And with recent authorization to release a seasonal gas line that is cheaper to produce than in the summer months, experts expect gas prices to drop in price even more.
Well, here's a look at what we're paying here in the Central Valley. In Merced, the average $5.32 per gallon of regular unleaded. In Fresno, it's $5.36. In Visalia, the average is $5.43. So it just gets higher price the farther south you go. There's some new fallout at Twitter after new owner, billionaire Elon Musk, fired half the company's 7,500 employees on Friday.
Yeah, many were reportedly in positions that monitor hate speech and misinformation on the site. Jake Ward has more.
This morning, billionaires debating the direction of the site that has an outsized impact on the spread of information just before the midterm election. Elon Musk tweeting overnight, Twitter needs to become by far the most accurate source of information about the world. Former owner Jack Dorsey replying, accurate to who? In a report from Bloomberg, unconfirmed by NBC News, the company has reached out to dozens of fired employees to ask them back because some were laid off by mistake, according to two people familiar with the moves. This just days after Elon Musk suddenly fired roughly half the staff.
I found that my work laptop was remotely wiped and access to Slack and Gmail revoked.
Sources within the company say the layoffs include staff that filtered out hate speech and studied misinformation. Critics now worry that Twitter's ability to police misinformation is compromised with the midterm elections only a day away.
There has to be guardrails so individuals are not misled. Misinformation is not dominating the public discourse.
New studies show the day Musk took over, hate speech also spiked on Twitter, but don't speculate as to why. Researchers found use of the N-word increased by nearly 500%. To raise revenues, Twitter plans to offer users verified accounts for $8 a month, though it's unclear what steps the company is taking to verify these accounts. This while some users took to impersonating Musk's personal account, including comedian Kathy Griffin, who was later suspended. Musk, a self-proclaimed free speech absolutist, tweeting that going forward such handles that don't clearly specify parody will be permanently suspended. Several major companies now pulling their ads from the platform. Musk, who tweeted he had, quote, no choice about the layoffs when the company is losing over $4 million a day, spoke out about the advertiser backlash.
This is despite us doing everything possible to appease them and to make it clear that moderation rules and hateful conduct rules have not changed, and we're continuing to enforce them.
Twitter, whose press team also was largely laid off, did not respond to our request for comment.
Well, that was Jacob Ward reporting.
Coming up on Ksee 24 midday.
It is the final push before tomorrow's midterm elections. How both parties are making their last plea to voters.
It's a time of rebuilding from the pandemic and ongoing violence, but there's more work to do to help the people that hang in the balance. Ksee 24 returns to Armenia to bring you stories of hope and perseverance. Specialists giving care to citizens and wounded soldiers who still face violence at the border.
They're supporting missions that come here to do everything for free.
Fresno City Council member Mike Harbasi meets with Armenian officials to strengthen bonds. The Valley's Armenia, the mission returns November 16th on Ksee 24, sponsored by Fashion Furniture.
We know Rudy Salas. In Sacramento, we paid him over $1 million, and he skipped over 400 votes. When Rudy did show up, he voted for a new tax on prescription drugs that would have drained money from the most vulnerable. Worse, we pay the highest gas prices in the nation, and Rudy voted to stick us with even higher gas prices. Rudy Salas has failed the Central Valley. Rudy Salas is not for us. NRCC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Ever since that driver hit my minivan, I haven't been able to just relax until I found the injury attorneys at BD&J.
They were so reliable, supportive, and made me feel protected when taking on the insurance companies.
The personal injury attorneys at BD&J have recovered over $1 billion for their clients. We work hard to get the money you deserve.
Thanks to BD&J and the settlement they won for me, I'm finally able to relax and appreciate the little things again.
Call BD&J at 1-800-820-1111 today.
Politician Adam Gray. You pay his salary, but he skips work. Skipped over 150 votes. Didn't even vote to stop the gas tax. When he does show up, his votes make things worse. Gray voted for a multi-million-dollar tax on dairy farmers, a $3 million tax on grape growers, and a massive tax increase on livestock feed. Adam Gray. We're better off without him. Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
I am sick of politicians failing to keep us safe. I will always ensure violent criminals serve their full sentences. Unlike Mark Pazin, who let an accused double murderer go free and accidentally released a convicted sex offender, with crime on the rise, I secured nearly $2 billion for law enforcement. Mark cut officers, then quit his job as sheriff to take a cushy Sacramento political gig. I will never quit on keeping your family and our community safe.
Now YourCentralValley.com pros who know.
When a dental office has its own on-site laboratory, they can make your teeth while you wait. Call Better Life for details regarding their on-site lab today.
For more expert advice, go to YourCentralValley.com/pros who know. Local news that matters. This is Ksee 24 News Midday.
Well, welcome back. I'm Ruben Gutierrez for your midday forecast. We're picking up some decent rain in Fresno and for a good portion of the valley, but this is just the beginning. Take a look at our live radar this midday. Most of the rain in Fresno County made its way into the foothills and mountains of Fresno, Mariposa, and Madera counties. It took a while for it to move into parts of the South Valley, but parts of Kings and Tulare counties picking up rain. That's the green you see on our radar. It's fairly moderate rain, but about 6,000 feet, it does transition to snow, and that's where the snow levels are going to start off. They'll drop down to 4,000 feet by tonight. Raindrops on this live picture from our valley cam at Pickett Solar in Fowler this midday. This is in southern Fresno County. That's Highway 99 off in the distance. The roads and highways are slick this morning. The drive home from work, if you're at work, will be a little interesting tonight, but even more interesting tomorrow morning, because as we move forward into tonight and tomorrow, the rain's going to be heavy at times. Our highs in the 50s, a little breezy out there. Those snow levels start to drop off into Tuesday. We'll start to dry out Wednesday afternoon, but after that, we got to look out for areas of fog. We'll talk more about the extended forecast in a few minutes, but first, for now, we'll send it back to you.
Here's a look at today's top stories. The man accused of stabbing another man at a car dealership makes another appearance in court today. 36-year-old Manuel Bracker was in court for his arraignment this morning after the same arraignment was postponed last week. Police say Bracker went into the Lithia Ford dealership near Bullard and Highway 41 in Fresno and stabbed a 56-year-old employee. He was arrested a short time later. He was charged with attempted murder and assault with a deadly weapon. The Fresno County District Attorney's Office says Bracker was also on a previous strike conviction for assault with a deadly weapon from 2020.
Hanford police say that they've arrested a man accused of a hit-and-run crash that killed a man in Hanford. Officers say it happened Friday night just before 10 p.m. near Lacey Boulevard and 10th Avenue. Officers say that's where they found 21-year-old Joshua Kinzer in the roadway with some major injuries. He died at the scene, and investigators believe that he was hit by the vehicle as he was walking in the roadway. Police say that the suspect, 21-year-old Benjamin Fernandez, turned himself into the Hanford Police Department along with a vehicle involved on Saturday morning. Fernandez was booked into the Kings County Jail accused of felony hit and run, causing death, and involuntary manslaughter.
The search for an at-risk Clovis woman is now a silver alert after her vehicle was seen in the Bay Area. Police say are looking for 77-year-old Lucia Rangel. She was last seen Sunday afternoon driving a gray Nissan Murano near Barstow and Pulaski Avenues. According to police, her vehicle was spotted around 6 last night in the Bay Area. So if you have any information, you are asked to call Clovis Police. We are in the final countdown to tomorrow's crucial midterm elections. The stakes could not be any higher. Control of Congress is up for grabs.
A new NBC News poll shows that Americans can't wait to get to the ballot box. In fact, with more than 40 million ballots cast nationwide, early voting has already surpassed the last midterm elections in 2018. Peter Alexander has the latest from a key battleground state, Pennsylvania.
Just 24 hours out, optimism and anxiety with control of Congress up for grabs.
This election isn't a referendum, it's a choice.
Democrats bracing for a potentially turbulent election night, needing to outperform President Biden's weak approval rating in the mid-40s. According to our new NBC News poll, 8 in 10 Americans are dissatisfied with the economy. One positive sign for Democrats, they're closing the enthusiasm gap with 73% of them and Republicans eager to cast their ballots. Republicans had a 9-point enthusiasm advantage just a month ago. The Senate remains a toss-up with races deadlocked in Georgia, Nevada, and Pennsylvania, where President Biden and former presidents Trump and Obama converged to deliver closing arguments this weekend.
Don't mope. Don't tune out. Get off your couch and do what?
Democrat John Fetterman and Republican Dr. Mehmet Oz's tight Pennsylvania Senate race could be decided in the moderate Philadelphia suburbs.
Get your friends, get your families all ready to vote.
And if we do this all together, we will win big time on Tuesday.
In Georgia, Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock is trying to fend off a challenge from former football star Republican Herschel Walker.
You have been putting in the hard work and the long hours, and it has made a difference.
Put me in the game, Coach. I'm ready to play.
President Biden steering clear of key battleground states, instead heading to traditionally blue Maryland today after a stop Sunday in another Democratic stronghold, New York, to support vulnerable Democrats, including the state's governor, Kathy Hochul, facing a late surge from Republican Lee Zeldin. Mr. Trump rallying Republicans in Miami, taunting House Speaker Nancy Pelosi just days after her husband was brutally beaten by an intruder.
Crazy Nancy Pelosi. By the way, how's she doing lately? How's she doing?
And teasing a 2024 presidential bid, taking a swipe at a possible rival, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, while declaring himself the frontrunner.
There it is, Trump at 71, Ron DeSanctimonious at 10%.
New this morning, Russian businessman Yevgeny Prigozhin said today he had interfered in U.S. elections and would continue to do so in the future. This is the first such admission from any kind of figure nicknamed Putin's chef. He's one of the closest allies of Russian President Vladimir Putin. His comments are posted on social media. Prigozhin, a dozen other Russian nationals, and 3 Russian companies were charged with operating a covert social media campaign aimed at dividing American public opinion ahead of the 2016 U.S. presidential election. They were indicted in 2018 as part of Special Counsel Robert Mueller's investigation into Russian election interference.
Well, as the Fresno County Clerk's Office prepares for Election Day, they are rolling out plans to crack down on voter intimidation and ballot fraud. The Sheriff's Office is in charge of investigating claims of ballot fraud or intimidation. Then the DA's office would decide if there is enough evidence to prosecute.
We do have several cases that we're investigating right now in conjunction with the Fresno County Sheriff and the Fresno County DA's Public Integrity Unit. That could be something as simple as photographing a voter, which is illegal in California, whether they are voting at a vote center or dropping off a ballot at a drop box. It could be yelling at a voter or even talking with a voter.
66 drop boxes are available throughout the county, but he says that even taking a picture at the ballot boxes is punishable by law.
Where folks were getting maybe a little too aggressive or maybe taking photographs at one of our drop boxes, which, as I mentioned earlier, is not allowed under California law.
52 voting centers will be open now until tomorrow from 7 a.m. to 8 in the evening. You must drop off your ballot by 8 p.m. on Election Day.
Sacramento voting officials are adding an extra layer of security and transparency by using Apple AirTags to track ballots as they are delivered to the registrar's office.
Not only our security, but the transparency that we have in this election.
The county says it's never had any issues with ballot transportation. They're just taking a little extra precaution. Ukrainian authorities are telling residents to brace for more blackouts in the capital and other regions as Russia continues its missile and drone attacks across the country. Molly Hunter reports from Kyiv.
The Wall Street Journal is reporting that U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan, who was actually in Kyiv over the weekend for a surprise unannounced visit has been having confidential conversations in recent months with top aides to President Putin. Now, the Journal is citing U.S. and Western officials and reports that the aim of these conversations, this dialogue, this channel, is to guard against the risk of escalation, not to discuss a settlement of the war. Now, as I mentioned, Sullivan made a surprise unannounced visit over the weekend to Kyiv, meeting with President Zelensky and top Ukrainian officials to underscore America's, quote, steadfast support for Ukraine. Now, as Russia continues its assault on critical infrastructure, like we saw last week, like we saw over the weekend, Zelensky says at least 4.5 million customers across the country are without power, most of them right here in the capital. Now, President Zelensky, speaking last night, said the terrorist state is concentrating forces and means for a possible repetition of mass attacks on our infrastructure. But really, all eyes still on the southern city of Kherson, where Russian troops appeared to have pulled back, but also really cementing defensive positions. That strategic city is still on high alert as a potential battle for that area looms. Molly Hunter, NBC News, Kyiv.
Leaders from around the world are in Egypt today for the UN Climate Summit. Now, they posed for this group photo this morning. The summit aims at whipping up ambition in the fight against global warming. Much of the tensions at COP27 is expected to relate to loss and damage funds and provided by wealthy nations to vulnerable lower-income countries that bear little responsibility for climate warming emissions. Well, a young Alabama girl is safe after she claims she was not buckled in for a fair ride. Ooh, well, it happened Friday night in Mobile, Alabama. The young girl was yelling for the ride operator, but says that no one heard her. It started to move up and she screamed. She says that the ride operator checked the seatbelts of the other riders, but somehow just missed her seat.
I started screaming like, help, help. And then I'm guessing no one heard me. I put it on myself. And I was thinking after the ride, I was thinking that they thought it was buckled in because they didn't even look at the buckle.
Welfare officials say that while the seatbelt wasn't fastened, other safety mechanisms were in place. When the ride entered a safe zone, it was immediately stopped and everybody was brought down safely.
Yeah. No, thank you. All right, NASA's SS Sally Ride rocket's on its way to resupply the International Space Station.
It launched this morning from Wallops Island, Virginia. This is the 18th contracted supply mission with the company, Northrop, and is scheduled to arrive at the space station on Wednesday, November 9th. The rocket is named after Sally Ride, the first female NASA astronaut. Well, the Powerball jackpot now sits at $1.9 billion, setting a new world record. It's also becoming one of the longest in game histories with tonight's 41st drawing.
Yeah. It's just going to keep happening because no one ever wins this thing. Sam Brock is in Florida with a little perspective of that record-breaking grand prize.
Tonight is officially the largest lottery jackpot ever at $1.9 billion with a lump sum payment of $929 million. You go into any convenience store across the country, you'll see signs like this advertising not just the drawing tonight, but also that massive number. And if it feels like there's been more billion-dollar jackpots in recent years, that's because there have been 5 to be exact, just since 2016. And there is a reason behind that. The biggest driver is the fact that they added number combinations a few years ago, which is to say that your odds of winning went down from 1 in 175 million, already not great, to 1 in almost 300 million. And so the longer you go without getting a jackpot, the more that money just builds. We are right now through 40 drawings. This will be the 41st for Powerball. That ties a record. There are certain numbers that come off regularly often, even though this is statistically random. The numbers 61 and 32 for the main drawing, and then for the Powerball, 24 and 18 are the most frequent. And there are also certain states that have won the most, and they happen to be in the Midwest. I am talking about Indiana, Missouri, Minnesota, and Pennsylvania are your top 4, although New York, California, and Florida, where I am, also in the double digits. So just things to keep in mind when you go and take your shot at $1.9 billion tonight. Sam Brock, NBC News.
These are Brody's favorite stories. He's a big Powerball player.
Yeah, always. I play every week, no matter what.
He's a big supporter of this.
just don't go overboard. Just practice moderation. I was saying in the newsroom the other day. I was behind someone in line just getting a coffee, and they were buying $75 worth of Powerball tickets. I'm just saying, everything in moderation. Coming up on Ksee 24 midday, more news.
Things, yeah. Not about the Powerball.
More news, less Powerball.
Get local news that matters and certified accurate forecasts at the new YourCentralValley.com. Now scroll while you watch with quick access to news important to you. Connect with your community with the very latest local stories. Ksee 24 News is always available at YourCentralValley.com.
I'm Adam Gray, and I approve this message. John Dwordy doesn't live here and hasn't done a thing to lower gas prices. I voted to stop the tax on diesel for tractors and trucks, and I wrote the bill to suspend the gas tax. I took on Sacramento to protect our water and our jobs. That's why Valley sheriffs and local newspapers support me. I'm the independent Democrat for Congress.
Fresno Unified is hosting community idea exchanges. Last year, your feedback had a big impact on district investments. For example, the district heard about the need for more mental health staff and services, so Fresno Unified invested in additional supports, including psychologists and social workers. Also, based on your input, the district invested in technology to support learning both in the classroom and at home. Now we need your help to plan for next school year. To join the conversation, visit FresnoUnified.org.
The Fresno County Historical Society doesn't just preserve the past, we bring it back to life through photos and stories that connect us all. Your membership allows us to capture and share history every day. Join now at valleyhistory.org/membership.
I'm David Valadeo, and I approve this message.
Rudy Salas didn't show up for work almost 450 times, but he did show up to increase the price of gas by 73 cents a gallon and backed reckless spending that made inflation worse. And if Rudy Salas gets to Congress, he'll be a rubber stamp for Biden and Pelosi's agenda, selling out the Central Valley, turning his back on us. Because Rudy Salas is a politician who only looks out for himself.
When pain says, I'm here, I say, so are they. Aleve, who do you take it for?
Coming up today at 3, take a trip back in time with the Fresno Historical Society. Pamper your pets this holiday season with this year's best pet gifts. And the Valley Animal Center is on with another adorable adoptable on this Monday, today at 3.
Next crew. Reunion. Does it feel like 40 years?
It was something that connected with everybody. It was a phenomenon.
Now, I believed E.T. was real.
The Drew Barrymore Show, today at 2 on Ksee 24. Vote November 8th and follow Ksee 24, your local election headquarters. Now, forecaster Ruben Contreras with your local weather authority forecast.
The rain is here, and this is just the beginning. The worst of the rain, the heavy rain, still on track for tonight into tomorrow morning, and that also means some very heavy snow for this year. But it's been kind of a steady rain throughout the morning, especially in Fresno, and now we're seeing that move into the South Valley for Kings and Tulare County. North Valley getting a bit of a break for now. That's the green you see on our radar, the rain. It's fairly moderate so far, but you see some areas of yellow. That's where it becomes a little bit more heavy. So we might be picking up some decent downpours towards Layton, Reedley, Sanger this midday, and obviously as you head into the foothills towards Friant, Prather, Yosemite Lakes Park. And right now, snow levels are about 6,000 feet, but they're going to drop down to 4,000 feet as we make our way into Tuesday, maybe even Wednesday. But by that point, it'll pretty much wrap up for the valley. But the snow will continue this year, at least until Wednesday afternoon. Speaking of the snow, here's a live picture from China Peak. This is their webcam up in the foothills, the mountains of Fresno County, about 7,000 feet or so. This one is the Buckhorn deck cam right there. And you can see, obviously, it's covered in snow. Most of this from this morning, and of course, there's still a mix of snow from last week when the resort picked up about 4 to 6 inches of snow. Now we're talking about picking up 2 to 6 feet of snow in the Sierra over the next few days. And here's what it looks like right now from Shaver Lake. Right now it is rain. This is a live picture from the Marina's webcam, about 5,000 feet or so. Then here's what it looks like outside our studios. Raindrops on our valley cam as we look off to the southeast this midday. Gloomy skies. We might see some pockets of sunshine because the cold air is coming in later on today into tonight and tomorrow. It's a fairly large system right here. This is just the beginning. Well, actually yesterday was the beginning with a few sprinkles, isolated showers. Now it's more more moderate rain, but it'll be heavy at times as we make our way into tomorrow. But for today, though, notice there's this break right here. If we get some sunshine, that heats the lower atmosphere, but that cold air coming in aloft creates the spin in the upper atmosphere, so that could pop off a few thunderstorms this afternoon into early this evening. Snow levels throughout the day will gradually drop off to 5,000 feet, then 4,000 feet tomorrow. This is tomorrow morning at sunrise. Notice all the yellow, orange, and red right there. Very heavy to moderate rain, Fresno County northward, and then it makes its way into the South Valley as we go into the midday hours. Then obviously it remains very heavy in the lower foothills, and those snow levels will continue to fall in our local mountains and for Southern California. So if you're traveling south for tomorrow through the Grapevine or even the Tehachapi route, you might encounter a little bit of snow. Here's 1 km projection for rainfall all the way through Wednesday, about 3/4 of an inch to an inch of rain for the valley. This is less than what we showed you last week. Those projections were pretty high early on, but I think this is a safe amount to bet on, 3/4 of an inch to an inch of rain. But obviously in the foothills, it's going to be heavier with the rainfall. So I think 2 inches of rain is a probability right there. As for snowfall, the snowfall projections are still up there. 2 feet of snow possible in Shaver Lake, Kings Canyon, and Sequoia National Parks. Maybe close to 3 feet up in the mountains for close to the China Peak area. Our local mountains, it's a winter storm warning in effect. Yosemite southward to the Kern County mountains. This is until tomorrow morning. Southern California, it is a winter weather advisory for mainly Tuesday all the way through Wednesday. Again, that's the area for the Grapevine and the Tehachapi route. Pretty much staying in the 50s all day. We're in the 50s right now, but Porterville, because you get that warm southerly wind first, you're in the 60s right now. So you're actually past your high temperature. 58 degrees today. 7-day forecast shows it'll be a little breezy at times. Rain will be heavy at times for tomorrow on Election Day, voting day, and then we're going to have some lingering showers on Wednesday. And after rain, we got to look out for fog. That could be an issue as early as Thursday morning. Right now, no rain for Veterans Day, but this weekend we're going to see some clouds roll in, but our chances of rain could change. Your regional forecast and live radar available any time of the day. Just go to yourcentralvalley.com to check it out. For now, we will send it back to you.
Well, from smart homes to smart communities, a new concept uses energy stored from entire neighborhoods as a backup for grid outages.
Yeah, our guy Rich Demuro takes a tour.
It's a bright idea for a new neighborhood. What if the power never goes out?
When the power's out, all of your refrigerator, your lights, all of those things work.
At the latest KB Home community in Menifee, a new twist on energy efficiency. Each home here collects power from the sun and stores it in a battery. But the entire group of homes, all 219 of them when complete, have a community backup battery that kicks in if the grid goes out.
It gives you the opportunity to still function almost like nothing was wrong, even when you may have a grid down for 12, 15 hours because of an emergency.
Durango at Shadow Mountain is among the first so-called microgrid communities in California.
When we use the term microgrid, all we're saying is that that portion that serves this community could be separated from the main grid during times when the main grid goes down.
Excess energy from the solar system, that's charging the battery. Once the battery is fully charged, excess energy from the solar system will actually go out to the community battery and charge the community battery so that both batteries can be full and ready for a grid outage.
The homes come standard with solar and EV charger, high-tech water heater, special insulation in the attic, and even an app that lets you monitor real-time energy usage. Now we just saw the lights flicker, simulating a power outage, and within seconds, you're gonna go off the grid and start to pull power off of this battery, and now we can tell that's what's happening. A smart fuse box prioritizes what gets power and what doesn't during an outage. One major exception, air conditioning. It draws too much current, so it won't operate during a power outage. These all-electric homes use up to 40% less energy than similar homes. The partners involved eager to learn from the project in hopes of applying the concept to more neighborhoods in the future.
It's going to really help customers optimize their energy use, save money, and become more reliable and resilient.
I feel like we kind of buried the lead there, Rich. Like, most of these outages happen during the summer when it's really, really hot. And it's like, yeah, you're off the grid. You're not going to have to worry about power outages. Oh, but wait, your AC still won't work.
Oh, yeah, that's a big loss.
So, yeah.
Yep.
All right, cool. Coming up on KC 24 Midday.
40 days, 40 chickens. The man that is getting love all over the world for his bevy of eaten birds.
Whoa, check out Scott's Sneaks.
Sweet. Hey, you can win your own. Just go to our contest page at yourcentralvalley.com. Every month, City Stars gives $100 towards your new pair.
Nice.
Check out Scott Sneaks, a new pair featured each week on KC24's Bulldog Insider.
So with a Planet Fitness Black Card, I'll get a post-workout glow like that guy? Everybody knows that you need to glow.
And I get a free Amazon Halo to track my fitness and sleep.
Get the PF Black Card for 0 enrollment, $24.99 a month, and get a free Amazon Halo View. Ends November 15th.
You didn't choose cat allergies. You didn't choose your hairline, hot flashes, the flu, or that thing when your knee just gives out for no reason. You didn't choose your bad back, or this, or that. You didn't choose depression, melanoma, or lactose intolerance. But with Kaiser Permanente, you can choose your doctor who works with other best-in-class specialists to care for all that is you.
Relaxation just got easier with Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa. Our custom massages bring you relaxation and overall wellness. From Swedish to salt stone therapy and everything in between. Self-care starts at Hand and Stone. Call today.
I'm David Valadeo, and I approve this message.
Rudy Salas didn't show up for work almost 450 times, but he did show up to increase the price of gas by 73 cents a gallon and backed reckless spending that made inflation worse. And if Rudy Salas gets to Congress, he'll be a rubber stamp for Biden and Pelosi's agenda, selling out the Central Valley, turning his back on us. Because Rudy Salas is a politician who only looks out for himself.
Got a plumbing leak or high water bill? Contact American Leak Detection, the industry leader in non-invasive, accurate leak detection and plumbing repair services. Our extensive knowledge and specialized equipment mean we'll find your leaks and fix them quickly. If you have plumbing problems, we're on it. From residential plumbing repipes to main water line repairs, even water heater replacements. When your insurance company asks you to call a plumber, American Leak Detection is your one-stop shop. Set up your leak detection, inspection, or plumbing repair today.
Know an inspiring educator? Tell us at yourcentralvalley.com. Each week, KC24 celebrates an educator with classroom supplies and honor wall recognition. Educator of the Week, Wednesdays on KC24 News, brought to you by our local partners.
So with a Planet Fitness Black Card, I'll get a post-workout glow like that guy.
Everybody knows that you need to glow.
And I get a free Amazon Halo to track my fitness and sleep.
Get the PF Black Card for 0 enrollment, $24.99 a month, and get a free Amazon Halo View. Ends November 15th.
KC24 News is brought to you in part by Tulare Outlets. This is KC24 News Midday.
The secret to gaining followers online might be eating chicken.
Or just being in the background of Caroline's videos. The user, Alex Khan Tom, I think he's great. I think he's the loser. He's been eating a rotisserie chicken every day for a month. He invited his followers to join him on his 40th consecutive day at an abandoned parking lot. You see just how many people showed up. John Fetterman, the Democratic candidate for Pennsylvania Senate, retweeted the invitation, reaching thousands more people, and you see just how many turned up. Now, here's the thing. He's not just eating a rotisserie chicken. He is eating the entire rotisserie chicken, carcass and all.
Okay, is that even safe?
I don't know. I guess we'll see in a few days. I mean, I have a friend who's on a 1,000-day pizza streak from the pandemic. That guy didn't get on the news.
That he was your friend? I remember you telling me about that. Oh,
it's still going. It's still going.
Wow, I just feel like that would be dangerous to eat the whole rotisserie chicken because those bones are sharp.
Let me just ask Ruben, what could you eat every day for 40 days?
A good breakfast sandwich.
Okay.
Cup of cocoa. Take a look at the snow falling at China Peak right now. This is one of their webcams up there at the resort. You can see they are starting to get snow out there. Here's the radar. We're going to get a bit of a break, but that could allow for some isolated thunderstorms to pick up this afternoon. And, well, I guess we're not showing you the 7-day forecast. Watch AJ at 5.
Many places full of history mark the Valley. Join me as I take you on a tour of the people and places that made history right here in our backyard. This week, one of the first places in the Valley folks used to get away from the heat. On the Map, Thursdays at 6 on KC24.
We love our pets, but we don't always love their hair, which is why we made Bounce Pet Hair and Lint Guard. With 3 times the pet hair fighting ingredients, just one sheet helps remove pet hair from your clothes. Looking good starts in the dryer with Bounce Pet.
I was not confident in my teeth at all before I